All right, today we're going to replace our screen. And if you guys notice, we have our HP Omen 15 screen that is broken, missing a key. We're going to try to replace one item at a time. We're going to start first with the actual screen. It's a little, you could probably see it, it's cracked and it won't turn on. There's a big old crack here. So we did purchase another screen because this is a really good machine. So let's go ahead and start and replacing. Right now, what I did, I removed the back end because I'm going to disconnect the battery. You must disconnect the battery, make sure that you don't get any kind of discharge, all right? So that's a plus. So let's go ahead and remove the battery first. All right, we're going to remove the battery first. And of course, we want to make sure that we remove every screw. Just don't want to discharge or anything like that. So there's little arrows on the screws, all right? So you can't mess them up. And make sure you get a magnetic screwdriver so you could actually pull them out this way, all right? Very simple. Not that many screws to worry about, but you are going to have to discharge it from here. I just don't want to start messing around with any electronic components without actually removing the battery. So this is a must, and it's not that very difficult. You guys can see that we removed all the main ones, so all you got to do is lift it up. That's pretty much it. It's very simple. It's one of the easiest batteries to remove and replace, right? So one, two, three, four screws. All right, now that we disconnected the battery, we're going to start with the actual bezel, and this does not require any tools, only sharp items to actually start. So I would suggest you start in the little corner here, lifting it up. So you got to get your entry in there, and don't worry about it if you break something because the screen's already broken, but it's a good, you're going to have to, you could do it with your finger like I am. You see that? Very simple. And, and just, you don't want to force it too much because you are going to have to put it back. It's dirty too. There we go. We got picked up a couple components here. All right, it took me a couple of minutes, but you got to be careful with this part right here. This is a cover tape to cover this part of the actual LCD, so just be careful. It was double-sided tape here, if you guys can see some of it, components right there. So this part is the tricky part. So you got to make sure you put in the plastic. Let me see if I can bring the plastic. Plastic, put this underneath of this thing here so you could be over this thing and then start stripping down slowly. All right, so you're not gonna be able to remove the screws, all right? So what you got to do is you got to make sure there's these adhesive. Let me get my tweezers because you are gonna need some tweezers. We're gonna start removing the tape, and you got to face it, push it one way. So you guys can see it's black right here in the corner of mine, but yours could be maybe a different color. But it's like a glue, right? So what you got to do is pull it up, and then you got to pull it back that way. So let me turn it around and push in my direction. And we need to remove both ends. There's this one and this one. So it's a little glue. It's like gelatin. So pick this one up and then start pulling it down slowly. Oh, see how this one's coming out? It's coming out really good. It's already cracking, so it's okay. Pulling it out. If you didn't have a cracked screen, there's one end, so we're gonna do the other end now. All right, because I messed up on one end, I had to pick it up the other end and grab the actual tape and pull it out. That was the hardest part, probably. So if you take it out the first time, you're lucky because it's not easy. It's something that you have to pull out from the one end. So I was able to do it successfully from one end, but I had to damage the other end just to grab one of the ends so I could pull the actual tape. Without, you can't. It's kind of impossible unless you have a heat gun. You can do the heat gun and the automatic. So once we remove this, we still have to remove this part of it. So here, we're gonna pick it up a little bit. See if we can pick it up with my nails first. Go. And if you guys notice, there's a little latch in there. I'm going to zoom in a little bit more. All right, this is the latch right there. If you guys can see it, there's a little tiny latch here. If you guys pick it up here, from here, you have to pick it up from the like that. You see how I did it? I just did it right now, automatically. Just popped out. Once you get that in there, you're able to pull this out. and the whole thing comes off easily. All right, so we're able to remove that. This is the old screen. We remove the old screen, which is trash. This is not what we want, so we get the new screen. So we're measuring to make sure that it is going to fit. So it's a perfect fit. You guys can see that, and we're just going to flip it around and connect it. So we're going to go do that. I'm going to twist it this way first, face up. Be careful with it because you crack it. It's no bueno no more. So there we go. We met. Now, if it doesn't turn on very well, it's because you didn't plug it in very well, right? So make sure all the pins are connected. I clicked it once. You can push it as much as you want, and then as soon as it passes over the edge, you're in. So make sure I do that properly. Use a plastic. I don't want to get static, too much static. There we go. It clicks on. We are going to take the tape off, so we're not going to completely close it out. So let's go and crank this up. See if it turns on before you lock it in place, all right? I finally got it going. It took me maybe a couple of tries, but I finally got it to post something in there, and it went away right now. But it took me a while trying to disconnect and reconnect, so it got it going. We're going to go ahead and start the next process by covering it up. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, now that we confirm, I'm going to remove the actual plastic that comes with it completely from the top. We're not removing it or removing it at all because then I'm going to start all over again. So there it is. Finally got it. Let's put it back together. All right, pretty much that does it. We got it going. It's asking for the disc right now. I don't have a disc, so we're gonna go ahead and that pretty much does how to set up an actual monitor replacement. So my next one is replacing maybe the keyboard next. So we're gonna do that in another episode. But for now, this should do it. I'm gonna go ahead and install Windows on it. So I hope you guys enjoy the video. 99.6 of you are not subscribers in my channel. I hope that the content helps you out and that you find it very useful. And I hope you hit the like and subscribe.